Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Justin Marcius. I'm the current Vice President of the Society of Film and Visual Arts, and today I'm joined with...
Hi, my name is Monica. I graduated in St. John's in 2019, and I was the Vice President of the Society of Film and Visual Arts.
Hi, my name is Sabyne. I graduated in 2020, and I was on e-board of SFVA from the years 2019 to 2020 as the Public Relations and Social Media Manager.
Awesome.
Honestly, working with the peers really, I felt like it was more useful than actual classes at some point, because we all kind of related. We were all on the same wavelength, so we were able to really work with each other and kind of pick up on each other where we can improve, where we can work together. And because we had that hands-on experience, we just had the same mindset, and we're all super creative, you know. We all wanted to have the same things together, so it really surely kind of shaped us. We kind of grew together in a way to really make us more creative and more driven in a way. So I really appreciated working with my peers because we really helped each other out when times we needed.
For sure, yeah. I also feel like everyone had different skill sets too, and it never felt like, oh, you don't know how to do this, so you can't do it. You know, it's like, okay, if I know how to edit, then there would be someone who would be like, oh, I don't really know how to edit, but I would love to. And this club was really a safe space for that kind of thing, where you could just pull up in here and someone would be around to kind of teach you how to cut together something, add some music, add some effects. So that's something I really appreciated, that no one was judgmental about anyone's skill set. So you could come with zero knowledge or all the knowledge in the world, and it would be a super collaborative and creative experience all around.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we've built on that. You know, we offer a lot of workshops and a lot of events that just allow people to get connected with people and just work on projects. Like last semester, we had a 48-hour film festival where we gave people 48 hours to get into a team, write a film, shoot a film, present it for a prize. And we had a lot of people come out and just make teams and make films together. We had an editing workshop where we gave everyone the same set of clips for B-roll, and they had to all make a B-roll together. So I think we've definitely built on that, and thankful for just the club being here also, because a lot of classes don't offer that as well.
That's true.
Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I guess for me, having the group of people that were there, you know, it just felt really, everyone was pushing you to do more. So even if you did this as a hobby, I feel like the people in this space would always make it so oh, you just like it as a hobby. Why don't you pursue it for real? Why don't you just go out and do it? And so that drive and that passion, I think that really is what helped pursue things outside of the visual art standpoint. Just having people who were like-minded, who were go-getters. It was a really strong standpoint and sticking point for me to actually pursue it in real life, quote unquote.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like everyone here kind of supported you and what you want to do. And to be honest, I never thought of doing film at all until I got to this club and meet so many people to kind of introduce me to film. And I was like, wow, I can actually do this. And they kind of, brought me to this world to where I needed to be. They really showed me the talents that I have that I never discovered myself. I discovered that through working with my other peers. So I really felt like this club definitely helped develop me. Surely did.
Awesome. And looking back on some of the work that you've seen on the Instagram, that we've seen in this archives of the club, I definitely saw with a lot of the past boards that you guys put out a lot of just creative works that were just really inspiring and really just they really drew me in from the eye. And looking at, and another way that we've incorporated that currently is if you look behind you, there's actually a magazine. There's two of them if you want to grab it right on the CD. Yep. Those are the current magazines we have of the Vault. The first one is a little bit of an error, but that's okay. These are the Society of Film and Visual Arts Vault, and this is just one of our main ways for artists to just showcase the work that they do and their creativity and just have a voice on campus.
This is awesome. Yeah, no. I remember we
did something like this. We tried to do something like this, but never I think we had one edition. And
it was the SFVA zine. We remember we came and we were like, oh my god.
It's sick.
But that was online though. We never had an actual magazine.
To have it be so physical,
cool.
You could just keep this on a coffee table or something.
And also, it's a little gift. You can't keep the first one because the first one we don't have enough copies. But for the second one, you guys get to keep your own copies of the Vault.
I didn't know we was getting gifts.
Yeah, wow.
Ooh.
I feel like a celebrity right now.
I know, seriously. You designed this?
Cool.
That was our president, Jordan Ben, and the picture actually comes from one of our club members. His name is Brendan Volkemer, and he gave us the photo in the magazine, and we used it for the cover.
This is sick.
Yeah, this is iconic. really.
I love it. I'm gonna put this in my room.
Oh my gosh, and I know some of these people. This is crazy.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, me geeking out.
No, yeah. And of course, obviously, we have our poster printer in the back where we print out posters like this one for our film festival.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
Rex made this one, so we can't take the credit for it. But yeah, and we just have like stuff like that where like artists can just like have an outlet. I don't know anywhere else on campus where you can like print out a poster.
Yeah,
You know,
me neither.
No.
Like
Even the poster printer that we had, we didn't really like get to use it that much. Cause
no, yeah, that one was
Yeah.
like really hard to use.
Yeah.
It was hard.
But yeah, no.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm cultivating
I'm
an
thinking
answer.
about the answer. Whether or not you're interested in film or not, it doesn't hurt to try new things. I feel like I was a journalism major before I became communication arts, because journalism just wasn't my thing. But then I just discovered this club. I was like, hey, let me just try it out. People here seem really nice and cool, and what I ended up finding was my family. Honestly, I'm actually still friends with some of the people in this club till this day. And I've graduated in 2019, so 2022 right now has been like 3 years. So I really got to build my family. They really supported me along the way. We've seen each other grow as artists and in our career paths. So I just feel like being in this club has really truly transformed all of us. And I got to meet the greatest friends that I've had till this day. So whether or not you're designed a film or not, give it a shot. You never know what will happen. You can meet some of the greatest people or discover new talent that you didn't thought you would have. And that's, from speaking from experience, that's something that I experienced. So, it's not going to harm you. And I feel like it's definitely worth a try, especially looking for a place to join to make new friends, new hobbies. SFVA is the way to go.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like my first year, it was still kind of on the rise. Film society was still like kind of growing, and I was so shy my freshman year. I remember coming to the thing and just being like, oh my gosh, like there's so many people. Like I was so nervous.
Same way.
And I feel like the first time I came in here, like for real, just like poking in, I didn't know anybody, but they were just like, come in, like what are you doing? Like come in, like you want to play freaking Smash Bros? Like you want to play Smash?
Oh,
like
yeah,
they were playing
I remember
Smash in here,
that.
and I was like, what the hell is this place? So it was just like a place for me to, like Monica said, meet some of like the greatest people I met on campus, and also just come out of my shell a whole lot. Like you're not forced to like be something that you're not here. Like you can just like leave it all out there and just like come in here, and it can be like such a safe space. I remember like taking so many naps on this couch when like I didn't want to be in my room, or if like I was really stressed, I would just like come into the office and like there would just be so much good energy in here. So I think like besides having all this awesome equipment, being able to use the cameras, the lights, the editing softwares, I think just like having this safe space, a lot of people could benefit from it. I think a lot of people could.
It's like kind of like a home in a way.
No, yeah.
That's a second home.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me.
Our little cozy home.
Yeah.
With Andy. You guys can't see him on frame.
Oh, yeah,
but
Andy.
Oh, we
our
love
It's been
beautiful
there
foot.
since 2018, I believe.
Yes.
So
I love Andy.
yeah.
I put like a B-roll of like Andy above.
Any tips? Just keep participating. Like, just keep coming in. Like, don't ever, like, if you can't make it to a thing, that's fine. But, like, really stick through with it. Because, like we said, like, the people that you meet here, you're probably going to, like, utilize them or, like, be in the same space with them in your careers in the future. You know? Like, you never know the connections that you make here and how they could lead you down your path. So, like, keep the club alive. Keep coming to the events. I love this because it shows that people are participating, and that's amazing. I feel like the hardest part is getting people to like see that this is here,
Right.
because people just don't know sometimes. So just like keep coming, keep spreading the word, and it seems like people are doing a really good job of it. So just like keep up the good work. You guys are doing amazing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, college, we have classes to take. Yeah.
For sure.
Education first, y'all. But like, also college is a way for you to discover, to make friends and have fun. You have to study all the time. And when you're free, they can go to the club and see what they're doing. So, during that time, you can definitely collaborate with other people. You can do some small projects. Just kind of be consistent and, stay on top of things. I know sometimes, especially during finals week and midterms week, all stress and stuff.
Yep.
And I know the feeling. Honestly, during those times, we don't have to be on top of everything in the club. But like obviously be active with your members. Always have something going on. Something going on, then you can't really have anyone to look forward to. So always have something to look forward to, and at the end of the day, just have fun with it. It's nothing serious. Everyone wants to have fun and be creative. So
we will take your social security number though when you come.
Oh. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, the
e-board. So I actually went through 2 e-boards. I was the secretary. Was I the secretary? Oh, I don't remember.
I think you were.
I think
look through the files.
Yeah, no, you were.
I was the secretary from 2017 until 2018. There was a different e-board. From 2018 to 2019, I was the vice president. So I had like different experience with different people from 2017 until 2019. But during those times, like, it's like I keep repeating myself, but it's the same concept. Everyone was like family, like everyone treated us. We're all just great friends. Like no one had bad blood with each other. We were all like communicating. We all like have our office meetings. It was just very fun and collaborative to be with Film Society. And also we got to collaborate with TV Club, radio next door. So it's really nice to just meet all those people. And as an e-board member, everyone looked at you as like, oh, like she knows what she's doing. And really, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was still learning. But you know what? I was really glad to have inspired other members to join. Because I know some members would come up to me and ask me how to do certain stuff. Can you help me work on this? And it really made me happy to make that positive difference towards other people's lives. Because that's something that I want to do in my lifetime. So just being as an e-board, as a leader in general, was really just made me so happy in general that I got to do this at the side in college. So it was a really good experience for me. I'm really glad I had that experience with me.
Yeah, no, I was e-board my last year of college. So like I spent my entirety just like being a member, like knowing everybody in the club, just being like, okay, like this is cool. But I remember being like senior year, I was like, you know what, like, let me just do it. Why not? It's my last year. Which coincidentally ended up being the COVID year. So I, unfortunately, like, it did get cut short, like, way too soon, I feel. But being, social media and public relations was really cool because I got to finally see what, like, you guys saw. Like, just, like, not being a member, just seeing how much kind of work goes into planning events, planning workshops.
And it's not easy.
And it's not easy. Getting rooms, getting spaces, getting approval.
You gotta go back and forth and like be very annoying.
Jump through hoops, knock on doors, like be like, okay, like you might have forgotten, but like we're still here, like we still want to do this. So just kind of being really resilient. That's what I feel being on e-board taught me. Like you have to be resilient. You kind of got to be
You can't take no for an answer.
Absolutely not. And you got to just really stick through it. And that was something that I still take with me to this day, even though it did get kind of cut short. I'm just really grateful for the little bit of time that I did get to have on kind of behind the glass door, just to be able to see what that was like. I also really miss planning out the trips to Rocky Horror.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That was like my favorite part of like being e-board, even though I would go as a member to like.
I remember she used to, like when I was e-board, she was a member and she could always come to our events.
No, I would always be there like, hi, hello, I'm here. But yeah, and it's just really cool having just like personally just seeing the growth, being like, okay, this really shy person who like didn't really know anybody, who like left the meeting early or something. To just like being able to say like, okay, like these people are family, this place is home. I thought that was like really fun, like personal thing that I could go on a journey to do.
Yeah, no, those are great answers. And like definitely even me being the vice president now, we've gone through a lot of like stuff throughout the year, board stuff, event stuff, and it's definitely been a ride. But it's worth it, definitely, with the community we have and the environment. And even though like there'd be some days where I'm like it's kind of running me a little bit crazy, but it's something worth fighting for because this community is such a great community to have around.
It is.
Totally.
I agree.
With that, my next question for you guys is, so as alumni, as people in the real world, we want to ask you guys the real question of, so how is it like making a living outside of St. John's now, and how has SFVA helped with that, if any way?
Literally.
Let me tell you, once you graduate, life is so different. Like, I don't see I see my friends sometimes still, but not as often, because I used to come to this club every day. I see them, every day in the club room. And now I don't see any of them anymore. Like, I see them, like, maybe, like, once every 6 months.
I just saw Monica last month, but before then, it'd been, like, a year, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years since we saw each other.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of, like, mutual friends, so. But, right now, I am a sales manager at Staples. I'm doing retail. Nothing to do with film, but a girl's gotta make money, somehow. And this field is very competitive. Film is not an easy job to pursue. But I also have to say that you should give up on it. I haven't given up. I'm still doing side projects. I just made a short film last year called Violet, and it's my first short film that I've made that I've been trying to work on since forever. I actually wrote the script here in St. John's for my screenwriting class.
I was there. When
She
this
was there
goes
in my
big,
class.
when it goes big, I want to be like, I was in the screenwriting class while Monica was having it read out. It was awesome.
It was great, and from that time, I knew I wanted to make that script I wrote into a short film, and I managed to do it once I graduated, when I had the right money to save up for a camera and all the equipment and stuff. So it's just I just took my time with it. I know there's no rush for anything. There's no expiration date, and I'm still working on a second short film at the moment, so we'll see where that takes me, but I'm not giving up. I'm still doing film at the side. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I'm hoping to make it into a career someday.
No, that's awesome. I'm just seconding what Monica said. It's not easy, and anyone who says that it's easy to make money in this industry is lying, unless you're like a nepotism baby or something. But for me, my trajectory was weird because like we got kicked out. I never got to make my senior thesis project, which is like I was gonna do some crazy stuff with that. It never got to happen, and I was really dejected for a really long time. I was really lucky to become a producer for an indie project that's coming up called Boxer. So that's really fun. We're still developing, but we're finally able to go into production in the summer. So that just goes to show, like, I started that in 2020, and now it's 2022, and like we're finally going into production. But it was unpaid. It's still unpaid. I'm doing it for the love of the craft. After I got that gig, I started working in sales as well. I was doing telemarketing basically, and at the same time I was working at a restaurant. So like juggling those two things and like still having that film project in my back pocket.
It's hard to do at the same time.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and sometimes you're simply not compensated for it, which also sucks.
Yeah.
But like taking that resilience that I got from Film Society, I really wanted to make sure that I was sticking true to myself and like keeping my passions alive. And so from there, I was able to land an internship with Tribeca, the film festival, which was like such a blessing. That was so cool. Definitely like name dropped a bunch of like, things that I got from Film Society there. I'm pretty sure that's probably why I got it, because I was like really adamant about how much I really liked movies. Yeah. And from the internship at Tribeca, now I'm working as a program planning coordinator for Showtime Networks. So full circle moment. Like I was able to go from like not working in it at all to like finally working in TV at least. Yeah. And I'm able to like, I'm screening things all the time. I'm talking about movies every single day. So really being able to live in that is really fulfilling. So all that to say, don't give up. It's going to work out at some point. It might not be exactly like being on like big Hollywood sets or whatever, but like there's going to be some aspect of film that you love because you're in this club, and take that with you, and you like it will work out. Like the universe has a crazy way of like throwing you into the place that you want to be. So yeah, just don't give up. Once you graduate from here, take everything that you learned in this space and take it out there, and you'll be okay. Definitely.
No, yeah, for sure. And like St. John's, they definitely have us running around like headless chickens. Sometimes we're like, we're doing this and that, and I expect to just come out and get a job, but like sometimes like reality is it's hard to do that. And like in our little confined like college space, it's very easy to like just kind of forget that.
Yep.
So yeah, 100%. And I definitely think in my own life, I've definitely seen people like on both ends, people who have been really lucky to like come out of college. There was one guy in my freshman year that I worked with. He graduated and he became like a producer on like I forget like some big set, and we were like, oh my god. But then some people like I know who graduated my freshman year, they still don't have job and stuff, and that's the hard reality of it. And I think what you guys said is perfect. Like I think you have to have that resilience. You have to have that grounding. And film society does teach you that, because it's like very much like, things don't always go the way we want it to go here. Like there are times when we can't get the room. Like you guys said, you have to constantly knock on the door, and those things. Like even myself first coming into the club, I was like, I was like, that's nothing. Trying to get like room 425 for a workshop, but then like it translates, because like pressing whoever the administrator is for a room can turn into pressing a job for something, and the fact that you work for Tribeca is like awesome.
Yeah, no, it was very cool. It was very cool, and like I said, like you really do take everything that you learn in college into the real world.
You really do. Don't take it for granted.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the SFVA members. Do not take it for granted. That's
take it for granted. All those times that you spend lugging things around this campus, running up and down Marillac, it's gonna be worth it. I promise.
I asked you all these questions. Do you guys have any questions for me as a representative of the board or anything?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you said you're in your last year, or you're about.
I'm a junior. Yeah, I'm going to be a senior next year.
You're going to be a senior next year, so you still have one more year to kind of like set some groundwork here. But what is your intentions for people who are going to come after you? Like, how are you going to work to make sure that this stays at the place that you've kept it, because you've kept it pretty high. So how are you gonna continue that?
So, one thing for me that I believe is this inclusion. Like I said, my freshman year, I didn't really know too much about the Film Society, and then COVID happened, and then the next year that happened, it was like clubs already were in a bad place.
Right.
So one thing that I want to set up is just like foundation, and the way that I want to do that is kind of just working together with my board and working together with the next board. So like when I transition, I feel like the passing of the torch can always be a little weird. And one thing that I wish happened with us, which didn't happen, was that the old board had like maybe talked to us a little bit, so that we could have like had that. So that's one thing I plan to do personally, is like when I leave the board, I want to talk to the next board just to kind of give them a heads up of certain things. And I hope that sets a precedent for boards to come. And also, I just kind of want to have some of these things become like autonomous. Like for example, our magazine, I want that to be something where it's like even if our board like in the future like forgets that standard, like our members are pressing, and that thing, like you guys said, knocking at the door, kind of stays with our members, if it doesn't stay with anyone.
Awesome.
That's cool. I guess as an e-board member, how do you manage to get new members to join the club? I know it's something that's a little difficult to do. That's something we struggled with, to get new members involved and stay.
Oh yeah.
And be participate in events that we try to hold. So what's your advice, and how do you go about it to be consistent with that?
Yeah. So I've definitely experienced the waves of like, oh my god, we have so many people, and waves of like, there's literally 2 people at this event right now. And honestly, there are various things we've tried. Like we've tried just like promoting things early, promoting things with little or less of a time span between. But I think what I've learned in all of that is just the substance of the event. And realistically, and we made some of those mistakes coming into the board. Like some of our early workshops were really just us like spewing information at people and not really giving people a chance to build. But then we learned from that, and some of the most successful workshops I've had here as an e-board member was the ones where we spent as little time talking and most time creating and most time working with people. Like our 48-hour film festival was very popular because we had people actually working on stuff the whole time. We had an editing workshop. That was probably our best workshop the whole year, where we put people into the edit lab down the hall, and we just did B-roll, and they got to edit that. And personally, I love that workshop, and I actually, it gave me inspiration to step up. Like we're planning on little secret for people next year. Little hint. We're gonna do like series of workshops that tie into each other. So like one workshop ties into the next one and then into the next one, and it all kind of feeds into a bigger picture of making a project. Whereas like at the end of the month, you would be making all the workshops you did work in tandem together to make one project, which kind of increases attendance, because in my eyes, it's like, oh well, I worked in this one thing, and you're telling me that this is one piece of the puzzle. I want to make a film, or I want to make a project. Of course, pushing our magazine out even more is another thing that I think helps drive attendance, because people have come to the office to rent equipment because they want to submit to the magazine, and then just having those conversations with them while they're in the office about, hey, what do you want to do? oh, I want to be a DP, or oh, I want to be a VFX artist. Okay, have you ever come to our editing workshop, or have you ever come in here? We have editing computers here. They're like, oh, you do. And some of those conversations I've had have been really good for attendance.
That's sick. That's really
I guess it's
awesome.
more of a thing that's a place that's unknown to people.
Exactly.
Because it's so high in Marillac, it's the fourth floor, no one's the fourth floor, you know, unless they're like a film major or whatnot, so.
Yeah.
I guess somebody does play, I guess, do promotion, really.
No, yeah, and a lot of people get turned away because they're like, oh, they hear. That's why we mainly say SFVA. I mainly always say SFVA because like it's so easy to say Film Society.
Yeah, because I say Society of Film, that's like a tongue twister. I can't even say it.
Yeah, because when people hear Film Society, they go, oh, not for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like be like, what do you guys do? And we're like, well, we also do visual arts and photos. So we're definitely, that's why like we have our poster printer. That's why we have our magazine. We have
for sure.
outlets for people to just express other than film, because it's very easy to just be like, oh, it's just for film people. And like you said, you weren't even a film major and you were here. And that's what we want. We want other people to come in here. We have like, I think we had an Axi major in here, and we're like that's like the furthest thing.
What the
Yeah, that's
heck
like the
is that?
furthest thing from film, and they just like to take photos and they like to just edit and like those little things. So yeah, no, 100%.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely like in good hands.
I feel like it's in good shape. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad to see the club still going. You know,
especially post COVID. That was my biggest fear because I was like, I remember texting our president Christian, being like, I don't know, like I was in contact with someone, but I'm like trying to give them like passwords and stuff, but I was like, it's COVID. Like I don't know if anyone's going to
show up,
keep
go
coming.
Back to the club,
like who's in the room? I don't even know. But it's really, really fulfilling and really, really motivating that the club is still open and active, and it's has opened up to more people who are like outside of film, like you said. The visual arts aspect is definitely going to open a lot more doors, I feel.
And it's very like, because a lot of people see Red TV and they're like, oh, I want to do like I don't want to do TV. And it's like that's another thing that kind of pushes me, like, or like something that I think draws us into people, or has us have a competitive edge just for keeping members, just because like, you know, apart from us, there's not really anything else that gives you the opportunities that we give you, like a magazine and stuff. Because again, Red TV is just like TV productions, and I give them a lot of credit, but like in my own life, I can only speak from my personal experience. I don't really care much for, like, I'm not really too much into TV. I'm more into like film and visual arts, and like this club gives me that ability to grow in those outlets and just expand my knowledge in those outlets. And I think that's is something that encourages people to come here
for sure.
More. So the so that's pretty much all we have. But before I end off, I have a little gift for you guys. I have one more gift.
What the?
So
is this Oprah?
Okay,
it's Oprah. We're gonna wheel you out like something. But so the next gift I have. So are you guys familiar with the 3D printing lab in Marillac?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. So we've collabed with the 3D printing lab, and we start to roll out these awards. If any other alums are watching, we're getting them out in due time. So, you know, probably gonna blow up our Instagram. But so we would like to present you guys with the first ever Alumni Legacy eBoard Awards.
Oh, that's so
These are given out
That
to
is so cute.
alumni who have been on the board for SFVA.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
And we will be unveiling our President's Award at the film festival, because we have a President's Award for past presidents. We gave one to Carolyn Chigliano because she was just a staple member and she was basically like a president.
No, basically.
So so I'm gonna give you one, and then you get one.
This is so cute.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Oh my god.
We are like Oprah. We're like.
If you look under your chair, there will
under
be.
your chair.
That's so awesome.
This is so cute.
Wow, thank you. This feels really fulfilling. You know, like it's like
it feels like very homely. Like I just love to.
And that's why I love this club, because it's like, even like having not known you before, like you weren't in the same year as us. It's like not like I feel like there's a community here with like the future eBoard. I'm sure that'll still feel the same. If you go to other eBoard members, I'm sure it'll be the same kind of community. It's just the little things like this. It's
this is very creative. Who's on the design?
So I actually got the design. I was playing around with some templates on like 3D printing websites, and then I saw this one, and I was like, oh my god! So I modified it, and
This is cool.
We were originally gonna paint it, but then I was like, I like the black.
I like the black. The black is
cool.
very sleek.
It's very sleek. But yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna give Eric his. Eric, if you're watching, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how
Eric,
you're.
come to New York.
Yeah,
I'll come
how you
you
with
should
you.
have just caught a flight.
I
Like,
know.
why
For
are
real.
you just not in this part of the country?
And you guys will soon see one with Eric. He, I won't spoil it, but yeah, he's a esteemed member, as they say. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add before we close out?
No, I mean, thank you so much for having us. This is so great to like. The fact I got a text, I'm like, oh my god, like, hi,
know,
like,
yeah.
like.
It's
So
like,
it's really nice to
shit.
hear back and be back here. It's just so nostalgic for me. I got so many memories, and I'm really glad to see everyone participate in this club. So
Yeah.
keep it up. I mean, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, same. No, it's nostalgia factor times 1,000. I haven't been back to campus in a really long time. Definitely haven't been up to this room in a really long
Yeah.
time. So it's just nice to feel all the feels. And I'm really proud of you guys for like
Yeah.
keeping it up this much during such crazy, otherworldly circumstances.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. But yeah, so that's all we have. Thank you guys all for watching, and of course you can always follow us at SJU Society on Instagram. We have our link tree where you can join our mailing list. You can join our group me, get notified about everything that we do, and of course we'll have their Instagrams on the screen for you guys to go and follow. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.